Oh, I'm starting already. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first official episode of Life XP. Is it gonna be a podcast? Probably. I like talking, so here we are. You can stay, you can visit from time to time, or never return. All good. You do you. If it sounds like I am reading instead of just free flow talking, that's because I am. After recording my first try of what I wanted to be my first episode, 23 lessons I learned before turning 23, I decided that I need to probably script out most of what I want to say until I get more comfortable and less stiff with this whole content thing. I'm going to get to it though, just not sure when, so again, my apologies for that. Let me start off by introducing myself properly. Greetings! I am Chris. That is just a nickname, but it's what I actually feel most comfortable with right now. I am 23 years old. My pronouns are she, they. And I have a pet cat named Luna. And also, if you will hear yelling in the background, that is my mom's cat. So I apologize. I will reveal more of myself as I go along, and I'm also hoping to get to know you too. The reason why I decided to start this podcast was because recently I have undergone quite an identity shift and mindset shift. And I have learned a lot and grew a lot. I have different perspectives on situations I was in during my past and would like to share them in hopes of making someone feel seen, maybe give something to think about, or help discover something about themselves. I want to create a space where people can come and expand, be themselves. I also want to give back to the world in my own way. The influencers I came across throughout my life mean so much to me and has taught me many things, as most influencers do. And I want to do the same, even if it's just for one person. And even if that one person is me just talking out loud to validate myself. I remember how good it felt when people talked about similar experiences I went through and shared their thought process. I truly felt seen, and I want to spread that good feeling as far as I can. I'm gonna take a bit of water. Water. Give me some water. I will be covering basically any topic I can think of or whatever you suggest as I present an actual visual of me playing games that you can watch while listening. I will probably play more like just Stardew Valley overall since it's a game I'm like currently just like obsessed with again. I might play like any cozy game. If you have any recommendations of games you want me to watch while listening to me talk, feel free to what? Feel free to suggest any games. I completely forgot what suggest was. But yeah, feel free to suggest any games, but I might just play a lot of cozy games or even just Genshin and when I'm just like farming or something, just like collecting local specialties in the game. I haven't done that in a while, I might just. But anyway. As you know, I named the podcast Life XP because I want to dive into my life experience and what made me who I am today. Just like in a game where you gain XP or experience to level up and grow stronger. It doesn't always have to be me though. I might have other people on in the far or near future as well to talk about their life experiences. I love learning about different people's different perspectives on life and how they came to be where they are currently. It's not always going to be serious as well. I want to be able to provide both deep and lighthearted content for you, so let me know if you have any ideas. I hope you will be able to gain peace of mind, expansion, and community from the space I want to create. Finding someone you can relate to or learn from or even just enjoy their company for that human connection that everyone needs is important, and I would love if I can be one of those for you. Now, how did I get to wanting to become a content creator and podcaster? Is that a word? This all started when I was at a very young age. I'm talking like 5-6 years old, when my kindergarten teacher asked me and the kids my age about to leave for primary school what we wanted to be when we grew up. I remember them saying things like doctor, teacher, or builder. I said to her, I want to be a princess living on an island. I loved Barbie the island princess as a kid, so I thought that was pretty cool. She laughed and thought it was endearing, while I was actually pretty serious. I was actually offended. I was like, why are you laughing? Then when I was around 13 or 14 years old, I had a complete mental breakdown about not knowing what I wanted to do with my life, which is kind of sad for a person that age, stressing about what to do for a job. My mom said that I will figure it out as I go and that I don't have to worry so much about it since I am still very young. What she said gave me some peace of mind, but I still had the worry at the back of my brain for a really long time. At some point I wanted to be a YouTuber, because who didn't, with my best friend at the time, and that idea was short-lived because my mom didn't really see it as a stable career and thought I was just being silly, so she never really supported it. I wanted to be like the Dolan twins. If you know who they are, I'm hugging you mentally right now, and also, can we be friends? And just to be able to do fun shit for a living while bringing entertainment to the world and making people's day brighter. Because let me tell you, I looked forward to their videos every Tuesday. Them being who they were really gave me something to hold on to. Not that I was depressed or anything, but it gave me a distraction from my usual teen worries such as school, friends, boys, etc. And they inspired me to pursue a path in content creation. A little later in high school, I thought I wanted a career in horse riding. I wasn't sure what yet, but I just wanted to be around horses. I miss horse riding so much actually, and I want to do it again in the future. Anyway, I found content creators where they make videos about horses and just their daily life going to the stables, and yet again thought to myself, hey, I can do that. My best friend at the time also suggested that we do that, but we fell out, so I thought that I'll just do it by myself. Time went on and I thought I wanted to be a photographer, a dancer, a life coach, an actor. Dropping out of my high school during COVID made it worse at not knowing what I want to do with my life. Because school taught us that you can't be successful without a degree or a certificate of any sorts. My parents were able to help me get a GED, which I was grateful for. It's basically the best qualification to have next to a high school certificate to go study. And after obtaining my GED, I basically just sat in my house for quite a few months, if not maybe just under or over a year, chatting on Discord with friends for hours and grinding Among Us and then later Genshin Impact from the moment I woke up until after the sun went down. It got a bit depressing at some point. My mental health was slowly getting worse, but I managed. My parents got me a job at the place that they worked at as a receptionist, since the company's current receptionist at that time was retiring soon. I appreciated the job, enjoyed getting out of the house, loved earning my first big girl money, but ultimately knew this was going to be temporary because even if I still didn't know what to do at the age of 21, I knew I didn't want to be working there forever. Fast forward over 3 years later and I am still working there as an administrator while doing very basic finance things on the side. Is it 3 years? Almost 3 years, I think. 2022, yeah, 2.5 years. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I cannot tell you how frustrated I was after one point. But I came to accept it and know that I will be able to leave at the right time. So for now, I am doing the best that I can. Now, I'm not exactly sure when this happened, but I watched a video of Dish going to a fan meetup, if I remember correctly. I have been following her since COVID times, loved her content, love her as a person. She has been a great inspiration for me at wanting to start making content. Anyway, the video I watched of her going to a fan meetup literally made me emotional. Seeing how people came up to her with so many bright faces and enthusiasm warmed my heart so much, it felt like my chest expanded. Even thinking about it now just makes me want to cry. And that was the moment where I told myself that I am going to go through with content creation. I watched another video of her shortly after where she talked about being a content creator, and one of the things that she said that stuck out to me was to begin with what you have. And the reason why it resonated with me so much was because I kept putting content creation off until I have the right equipment, quote unquote, aka a monitor, a microphone, a camera, all that jazz. But I decided to put all of that aside because I didn't know when I would be able to afford all of those things, and then just started using my phone. I had Genshin, I had an editing app that I liked, and I was going to use it. It was pretty nerve-wracking for me to start because I didn't know anything. I didn't know what to do or how to act, but I just went for it and had so much fun making and editing the videos despite them not being the quality that I want them to be at. But I knew that I would get to where I want to be as long as I start and keep going. And once I did get started, I realized that it actually isn't that bad. All my fears went out the window and I simply just enjoyed doing what I wanted to do for so long. After a while, I fell off from making content because I felt so overwhelmed with work and life and just dropped it. Around March or April 2024, I think. I knew I wanted to pick it up again, but I felt too ashamed and embarrassed. All my insecurities came back of not being where I want to be, me not staying dedicated to it like I thought I would be. It was difficult for me to continue trying. Then I got a big raise, felt very grateful for it, and around November 2024, I realized, oh my god, I can actually afford a laptop on my own, because it has been a dream of mine since I was 13 to own a laptop. I had input from my younger brother, bless him. He was the one that helped me to ultimately decide on the laptop that I currently have, and another great breast. No! And another great best friend of mine that that also has some knowledge about laptops. I appreciate both of them for helping me decide. During this whole process, I told myself that when I get my laptop, I am going to pick up content creation again. And so I did, and I cannot tell you the fun I had. Once again, I really enjoyed being able to play the games that I love, having more tools to help me edit and create content, and learning things along the way, even if I messed up sometimes. Then it got even harder for me to be able to keep up with making content when I started studying bookkeeping not short after, about halfway during January this year. It's been taking so much energy from me to have to work during the day and then study before work and during my lunch hours. I have only a day and a half, not even, to just rest and unwind and do nothing. And I can't get myself to work on editing at all during this time because even if I really enjoy doing it, I still consider it as work since I want to make it a full-time career. But that is how I came to finally starting content creation. And now let's get into me refining it into wanting to start a podcast. There was a moment I had that solidified the idea of me starting this podcast. At the ending of last year, the beginning of this year, I was questioning whether I am actually a lesbian instead of bisexual. I am going to make a whole episode about my journey to realizing I am a lesbian for Pride Month, so look out for that. I'm so excited to talk about it. It's going to be like a whole other, it's going to be a story, but anyway. Since I never had that representation that I genuinely needed growing up, I decided to do some exposure therapy. I listened to lesbian podcasts, read sapphic books, and consume more overall queer content. The first podcast I came across, and bless this podcast because it is my queer comfort podcast, was Made It Out. I started listening to it from the very first episode that was posted in what seems was the 8th of November 2023, Early Science and Late Exploration with Iris Walker, which was a wild one to start with, might I add. I sat with my mouth open almost half of the time while trying to do my invoices, but I was in shock. That is besides the point. Once I started it healed me. Once I started hearing all the stories of the people that she had on, talking about how they felt when they grew up, how they discovered they were queer, their thought process through it all I remember was thinking, dude, that is exactly what I thought / how I felt. And the way their stories brought so much comfort to my not closeted but closeted sapphic heart, I thought to myself, I want to do the same. I want to help people discover more about who they are and give the validation that they deserve and maybe even the representation that they need. I want to spread that comfort like a giant blanket and wrapping everyone up in a big hug, a smooch on the head and say, you are valid, you are not alone, and you are awesome. That was one of the moments and big reasons why I decided to start this podcast. It was quite challenging finally making the decision because I have had the fear for being seen for a long time. I was afraid of putting myself out there and what others would think, if I will be judged for how my content comes out, if my friends or anyone else I know will find out, and most of all, if I have anything of value to give. But now I think almost half of my subscribers as of making this episode are made up of my friends, and I am so grateful for their support. And I also realized that I need to start somewhere. I cannot start at the finish line. I won't be super great at it immediately because I have no experience whatsoever in this field, And the only way that I will learn and grow is by starting. I also felt immense pressure of needing to upload frequently to keep my audience engaged and to grow as fast as possible, starting all the socials and just being super active on all of it all the time. Luckily, I listened to a podcast by Leo Skeppy. I love him. Called Feeling Hopeless is Step 1. Congrats! Even though he changed the title because I remember it being called something else. And it was basically where he talked about how he stopped forcing things to happen. And then it got me thinking of how I am forcing myself to put content out and edit and record every free second that I have to rush everything. And that sort of made me resent the very thing that I enjoy the most and want to do as my career. I sat back and thought to myself, no one is expecting me to post every week. No one is shitting on my head for not wanting to edit. Only I am doing that to myself. Only I am making myself feel guilty because I am not where I want to be. Meanwhile, I am actually exactly where I am meant to be. I don't need to exhaust myself with stressing about content on top of my demanding full-time job and studies. It's not realistic. I will get to where I want to be in the perfect time, as long as I do show up and keep on knowing that my dreams will come true, that everything will work out. Even if I put out one video every 2 or 3 months, at least I am not quitting. So I guess the message that I basically am trying to get across is that 1, you will know what you want to do with your life at the right time. So take your time and enjoy your time getting there. You are on the right path and you are exactly where you are meant to be. I would not have known or pursued being a content creator if I had rushed things and listened to what other people said about what I should do for a career and what steps I need to take to get there. You will know what to do, I promise. Keep moving forward and practice having trust in yourself and whatever higher power you believe in, that you will be guided, because you already are, even if you can't see it right now. Number 2. Stop forcing things to happen and stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Life is supposed to be fun and easy. Sure, there will be difficulties, otherwise there would be no growth, but you don't have to get anywhere as fast as possible. If you are forcing things to happen, then you are literally standing in the way that then you're literally like you're literally interfering with the universe's plan for you, okay? It's like, dude, chill. I got this. You just do your thing, okay? You just chill. I got this. And you are also gripping it too tightly, and that is actually what's causing you to stress. Instead of holding on to it so tightly, try holding it gently and take a deep breath while you're at it. It feels way better being relaxed than under pressure. Okay, wait, Luna wants to come inside. Hang on before I get to number 3. And the last one is screw societal norms and do what makes you happy. You are here to live your life, not to live according to other people's images and expectations of you. If you do, then your life isn't even your own. I think that might be like, you probably heard it like 1,000 times. I know I hear it a lot in the self-development space, but it's true. It really is true. And it sucks if you don't do what makes you happy. It really does. And even if you don't know what makes you happy, you will figure it out. And you will find out. Trust. So something I want to invite and encourage you to try is to ask yourself whenever you think of doing something is, am I forcing it or do I want to do it? Even if you don't want to do something, you can still do it without forcing yourself to. I should probably think of a way of how to explain that one. But if you get what I mean, then great. Another thing can be, what is something that I truly want to do? What fears or reasons come up that are stopping me from doing it? And how can I help myself with these fears? Or what reasons can I give myself to start doing what I want to do? Because I think it's important that you realize what you are doing. I don't know if you can hear her. Oh my gosh, I'm almost done. Oh, because I think it is important to think of what you are doing where you are like standing and like how you are standing in your own way and what you can do to like overcome those fears, because your fears are valid and it's understandable, and like you just gotta hold your hand through it and help yourself. Be like, hey, look, I know it's scary, but it's actually not that scary, and let me show you why it's not that scary, and let me show you that you can do it, you know. Yeah, I think that's about it. I do not have any socials at the moment. I do not have any socials at the moment because I am trying to heal my doom scrolling tendencies whenever I am going through a hard time. But I will have one up and running at some point. I guess, I don't know, maybe TikTok again. I might try Instagram, maybe. Those are the only 2 socials that I can think of. Maybe I can also set up an email. Yeah. I also want to have a Discord server at some point, but that will come in way later. Maybe. Anyway, in the meantime, if you have anything to say or want to talk about, you can do so in the comments. I would love to try and help if I can, or just talk. I'm up for anything. But this was actually fun. It did feel a little bit awkward, but it felt so much fun. Like my heart is just so happy. I'm so happy that I finally got to do this. I have been wanting to do this for so long, and now I'm doing it, and it's just so fun. It's so fun. And I hope you enjoyed listening and enjoyed the gameplay that I provided. I think in this gameplay of Stardew Valley, I am romancing Abigail. But yeah, I am going to post a playthrough of Stardew Valley as well, where I romance Leah, because Leah is my favorite. But I want to try Abigail, so while you're listening and watching me play, I am actually also like doing the back, like I'm getting off track here, yes, just not that you care, but okay, yes. Anyway, it is gonna take me a while to become less stiff and become more comfortable, to open up more and to just like free flow talk. But yeah, thank you if you stuck around to the end. And please be patient with me as I figure things out and find my style and my groove. I can't wait to keep growing and sharing things with you. Please let me know if you have any suggestions or what you thought. Until then, take care of yourself. You got this. And I'll see you guys next time.